Hey everyone, it's Phil here. In this video, we'll go ahead and talk about two popular businesses that are being started on Booking Koala every single day. Both of these businesses can be huge potential to make a lot of money. And that is actually the very first question that people always ask when they're starting either a home cleaning company or a mobile car washing company, which is usually when you drive to someone's home and clean the car on the street, driveway, garage, whatever it may be. And that first question is, can you make $100,000 in profit per year off of both of these business models? Can you do 200,000? Can you do 500 or 1 million? And the answer is yes, you could literally do it in both of these industries. Both of these are excellent businesses. However, they have key differences, especially when you start, and things that you have to look for before you decide to go into them. So now before we continue on, you have to know that both of these businesses, you do not have to actually perform the work. So if you take my story, I started in the home cleaning industry at 19 with my best friend, from zero to over $15 million in revenue, which means we've done thousands of jobs, not hundreds of thousands, and we've never performed the cleaning ourselves. Majority of Booking Koala businesses who start with us actually go that route, but you can perform the jobs yourself if you want to. Sometimes it's easier to start that way, and people do that. We actually had an interview not that long ago with someone that's doing close to $3 million now, probably way over that, and they started out by detailing and doing the car washing themselves, later transitioned over, trained people, and grew teams, and then got out of that. So everybody always transitions out of that if they want freedom. What I always say is do it right from the beginning, because it's a lot harder to transition over once you already have customers coming in and you're actually servicing them. So now we know that you guys can make a good amount of money. You know that you should not perform the work yourself. And now let's talk about the big point, which is reoccurring services. And as I always say, reoccurring services are easier to scale, easier to start, and you have a higher chance of actually succeeding in the business, especially if you are a brand new entrepreneur. This is why so many people have huge success on Booking Koala. But again, let's go back to reoccurring. Both of these businesses have reoccurring. However, home cleaning takes the win here because it is a true reoccurring business versus mobile car wash. When somebody's looking for home cleaning, they expect to be on the reoccurring schedule, and they already know about these kinds of schedules. Versus mobile detailing, it is a little bit harder because you have to figure out how to actually convince them to become a reoccurring client. I'm kind of overcomplicating it because it's a lot easier to do so, but again, people don't expect to say, I'm going to book mobile car washing every single week or two or month, right? They're usually going to say, well, come clean my car, and then they'll book whenever they want. It happens in the home cleaning industry as well, but it's less common, okay? And you have to figure out packages and nurture the client, educate them that they could save a lot of money, and you will be there to actually perform on a reoccurring basis, and they can always cancel or reschedule whenever they want. So the point always goes in this category to home cleaning. And that is why if we're looking at long-term scalability and long-term business growth, I'm always going to say that you can grow a home cleaning company to a larger company than you can with the mobile car wash industry. If you guys enjoy my videos and you learn something, leave a comment and click a like on the video, because it helps with the algorithm, helps more people get to see these videos, which in return, I make more content for you guys, because I want you guys to win and have the best content possible to grow your service businesses. My next point here, saturation. Home cleaning is very saturated. Is that bad? No, because it's proven saturation is a good thing. It means the model is there, the demand is there. People always get into business, old businesses go out, there's new opportunities, and you could grow to a large company even if it's a saturated market. And a lot of people actually that think of starting businesses don't think that way. I didn't realize that until we did an interview with someone recently, but they think that you need to invent things to succeed and make money in business, which is not true. You can already go into things that their businesses are already doing. You don't have to invent anything, and local service businesses are already there. And now within those service businesses, there are easier businesses to start, like the ones that are less saturated, right? So the ones that are saturated, like home cleaning, it's going to be a little bit harder to break into compared to mobile detailing because there's not as much saturation. So that is an opportunity right there. And the point when it comes to starting goes to mobile detailing because not as much saturation, especially in majority of the areas compared to cleaning. Both are still great. One has the bigger upside long term, but short term, you can go ahead and start making money quicker with mobile car washing. And depending how you structure it, if you structure it as mobile detailing, you can go ahead and make more money up front as well, because sometimes you could charge 500 even more to detail a car versus home cleaning where it's usually going to be much lower ticket. But again, if you go more broad and just do car washing, which has its perks as well, it's going to be even less of a ticket. It's probably going to be less than $100 to actually go out there and clean the car properly. So again, we're going to go to a point here for mobile detailing when it comes to starting the business and having the opportunity because there's less competition. The nice part about these businesses is that if you don't perform the work, you can literally start somewhere where you can see the best opportunity in it. And what I mean by that is people sometimes live in one state while the service is in another, or a different country while the service is in another. And we have users that literally live somewhere where it's so cheap to live in, like Mexico, and they will go ahead and actually have the service in New York or somewhere where there's huge demand or huge opportunity. And that is of course going to be for you to figure out where you would want to go. But I always say, if you're trying to grow big, go into the biggest market. Doesn't matter if it's saturated or not, go into the biggest market. If you're looking to get into it as fast as possible, which depends on how much money you want to make, go where there's opportunity. It most likely will not be in New York or somewhere that's saturated like that, but somewhere where you could start producing money quickly. So that would be a smaller city, most likely. Start in a service where it's not so popular there yet, like mobile detailing, and start growing there. Next part, hiring. This is huge. So there's two different skill levels. If you're looking for home cleaning versus somebody that needs to clean a car, two different skill levels. It is so much easier to find people that will do mobile car washing because you could literally go to a high schooler and they could do this job. So it's going to be easier to find people. But if you now structure it as mobile detailing, then I would say mobile detailing is going to be harder to find and train versus someone that's actually doing home cleaning. So now you have to think about it. If for me personally, if I was to be doing mobile detailing, and this is what I've seen across many Booking Koala users, I would go after mobile car wash, not detailing. You could do detailing and branch into that later and have a division of skilled, perfect workers that you add on later. But at first, I would start with mobile car wash only and brand yourself as a mobile car wash where you could hire anybody and they can go ahead and perform this job. It's going to be much easier to scale and you're not limiting yourself to only mobile detailing. And then later you could put a specific type of worker and hire them, train them, and then offer mobile detailing. So again, a point will go to mobile detailing for this one because it is easier to just hire people. And service businesses, it's all about hiring. Talent is your product, is your service, and that's the most important part. That's what's going to help you scale. The better providers, cleaners, mobile washers, the easier it is to grow because people will book reoccurring, they will become customers, they will stick, and you could scale it that way. If people keep leaving, then it's a problem. Now, the next one, what is the cost to start these businesses? Both could be started for $0. So the point will go to both of them. And how do you actually start it for $0? A lot of people always say, no, you cannot start any business for $0, but technically you can. I'm not saying go do it that way. If it was me, spend a couple $100, register the business and start that way. But what a lot of people do, and I always say this is an option because this is what a lot of people using Booking Koala do. They start for $0 because they don't register the business until they have 5 or so clients. Money's already coming in. Then they validated the idea and pay for the registration and keep working on their businesses. So that is an option. If you literally have no money, that's what people do. So if it was me, what would I start? It kind of depends what you want to do. because both of them are good based on and also what your goals are. I always say, for me, it's always long-term vision and what do I want to achieve. So if I want to go all the way to the top, I would pick home cleaning. If I just want a certain level and I want to break into the market quickly, mobile detailing is the option. Another thing maybe you want to consider is, do I want to do home cleaning or do I want to wash cars? Maybe you have a passion for cars. That might be more interesting opportunity for you. If you don't care for either, again, I would still long-term go for home cleaning, even though it may not be the coolest business. And if you know my story, I started in the home cleaning company. I did not think that was cool whatsoever. And a lot of people that start and break into this industry and make good amount of money, millions of dollars, they also don't think that industry is cool. But what we all agree on is that we'd rather make money in a industry that's not the coolest thing in the world than not make money. So this is up to you guys. Good luck with whatever journey you start on.